Welcome to the Chachanomics Money Talks. I am Chacha Bichang'a, a personal financial coach, the founder and lead trainer of the Chachanomics coaching program. Today, we want to look at the best saving methods for campus students. We know that the habit of saving is very important as a way of mastering your money. That the saving is the key to personal financial management. However, many college students, many university students do not save money because they think saving is supposed for people who are rich, people who are in business. In fact, they claim that they do not have money to save. Some even subscribe to a rule or a myth that says a comrade cannot save. So there are so many other myths that make comrades not to save because they think the money they have is either too little or they are too young to save. In that case, why is saving important to a university student? One, by saving, a student learns to take charge, take control of his or her money. In other words, one becomes a discipline, self-discipline in terms of managing his or her money. Two, saving helps a student to achieve his or her goals. For example, a student wants to buy a good phone, a good laptop, maybe a good pair of shoes, want to buy a nice cloth, then one can learn just to save. Three, saving reduces the stress of going for the easy to get, the digital loans. And there are so many, name them, they are Tala, we have Zenka, we have Branch, we have Fuliza, and the comrades are fond of taking one loan from one app and moving to the next until some of the lines are switched off. In fact, saving, number three, helps a student to plan for the future. It helps a student to set goals. And the saving, in other words, makes a student to be confident. When a student saves, for example, her self-esteem or his self-esteem goes up. And in this case, why do you have a poor saving culture among students? One is the commercial adverts you have on social media, mainstream media. They teach students that it is good, that it feels nice to save, and therefore they influence the spending habits. The number two reason why students save is the lack of priorities. In other words, they have not prioritized or planned their funds. They have not set goals on how to use their money in a week, in a month, 3 months, and so on. The number three reason is the Harambe mentality, the mentality of funds drives. I'm sure many of the students who are in university or colleges, the first before they joined, an Harambe was organized at home, a fundraiser was organized. And that has created the mentality that when you want to raise money, you collect money from friends, from relatives. And with that mentality, it has created a spendthrift kind of culture among students. The other reason why students don't save is because of the vicious circle of debt. When students are now borrow from all sorts of digital money lenders, it becomes very difficult to set aside even 10%. So in this case, we want to look at what are some of the best saving methods or saving strategies for students. Number one is that a student should pay himself or herself first. Paying yourself first means you're setting aside 10% of the money you receive from help, that is the higher education loans board, money you receive from the parents, money you receive from the sponsors, from the guardians. Make sure that 10%, 20% in fact, of that money is kept aside. If you receive 5,000, 20% of that, you know what that means. If it's 10,000 shillings, you know 10% of that is 1,000 shillings. The other best way, second way of saving money is by setting goals, have priorities. For example, this semester, I want to save so that now I can start a side hustle, start a business, buy a laptop, buy a good phone, or something that is very nice to motivate you to save. Number three way of saving, here I encourage students to open what we call a savings account. It can be a Mshwari lock savings account. You also should open a money market fund. Money market fund belongs to the pool of funds we call unit trust. This is a case whereby your money that you save earns some interest that is far beyond the level of inflation. For your information, inflation currently stands at 9.2%. That's very high. So make sure you save your money where you are getting returns, interest of more than 9%. The other way of saving is ensuring as you spend your money on a day-to-day basis, 10% for every expenditure you channel to saving. That here you levy a personal tax of 10% of the total expenditure. If you, for example, in a day you have spent 1,000 shillings, make sure you keep aside 100 shillings. So you can't say that your money is too little, too small, that ukiona itoshi kula. That is a very bad habit. So in this case, there are three important things or points that I would want university students or college students to remember. One, you don't save after spending. You save first, then spend the remaining balance. Many students, they spend, and that's why they say the money they have is too little. A comrade can't save because they say the money they receive is not enough for their need. If you apply the rule of paying yourself first, that will be good. Number two, remember there is no little money that cannot be saved. Any amount of money can be saved. Number three, and this is very important, is that money speaks one language. Save me today, I save you tomorrow. So it is important for a comrade to know in a year we have 365 days. If you save, for example, 10 shillings per day, how much will you have saved the whole year? You will have saved 3,650 shillings. What can 3,650 shillings do? You can buy, for example, shares of Kenya Power and Lighting Company. You know, KPLC shares are trading at 1 shilling 30 cents. So you will be able to buy around 2,400 shares. If you save 20 shillings per day for the whole year, you will end up having around 7,200 shillings. How many shares of KPLC can you buy? You'll be able to buy around even 4,800 shares. So, comrades, campus students, college students who are looking at this video, if you are not saving, then there is no excuse why you have not invested in shares, for example. So stay tuned. Next time we'll talk about best investment opportunities for comrades, for campus students. Stay tuned to the Chachanomics Money Talk.